Seems so good tonight.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We are back with
You
a
know better.
very few times do we really give y'all the privilege of a back-to-back performance, and we back. At least the three of us. I don't know what's up with Ethan. He probably still mad that Jalen balled out, but that's we ain't really going to do it. Now we here to talk about the Sixers in an overtime victory. Maxey is back. Is Maxey back or what? At least for the game. Maxey said he got his swagger back. I know we had some, a couple people on here in the chat earlier. We talking about the Eagles. They kind of branched onto some Sixers talk because their game started. I still don't know why. Somebody enlightened me that you put an NBA game 3:30 in the middle of a football Sunday.
Oh, no.
However, I don't know. Maybe the schedule in the arena was somebody. Maybe the concerts coming in after the game, and they needed to get the game early. I don't know, but I just
maybe
don't.
they got to travel. Maybe both teams got to travel somewhere. Do Indiana they got a back to back coming up or something? I don't know.
That's possible. That's possible. But nonetheless, Maxey came with a vengeance. He was flexing. Even the first half, he was off. He was off the first half. He was cold turkey. He wasn't looking good. People in the chat, oh man, Maxey looked like he a byproduct of Joel Embiid and he can't do it by himself and yada 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 yada. Until Maxey said, "Blocker, blocker, blocker, blocker. I got something. I got heat for all y'all fools. Everybody was hating on me. Take this, take that." Maxey with the comeback, a masterful second half performance, over 30 points in the second half and overtime. Monster game ended off. Missed a couple free throws late, but we're not really going to harp on that, especially Oubre almost choked it away, and Caleb Martin almost choked it away. We almost gave this game away. We was trying to get his game away.
You really did.
Late in the game. But ultimately, some good plays by Drummond, some good plays by Gordon. We won the game. Some couple good defensive stops, some good steals, missed shots by Indiana. We captured our first victory of the year, led by Maxey with a total. How many points total he ended with? 45? 45 points. What a performance. Speak on it.
Well, I think it was, of course, it's all about Maxey tonight. This afternoon, whether we want to put that evening. But I think it was a lot of plays. This game wasn't it told me one thing. Indiana may not be as good as I thought they were, because there's no way that it even should have been a dogfight against the Sixers like that, with them having their full roster pretty much. But Maxey
looked like telling you we a deep team, or is it telling you we a deep squad? I think.
But I mean, we wasn't that deep the first two games. So
I mean, so you got to gel. This is all new players too at the same time.
No, I agree, because that's what I'm saying. That's the other thing it tells me though. Indiana's 1-2, by the way, but it also tells me this team is deep. Like even looking at Caleb Martin, we talked a lot. His shooting percentage wasn't all that great, you know what I'm saying? But he has that aggressiveness that he's going to be aggressive and he's going to do what he got to do. So when you look at players like him and Drummond, when Bede and Paul George are playing, they don't have to have as many minutes. But Martin had what? He had double-digit rebounds, didn't he? What he had? I was just trying to look and see that.
Martin had...
He had 12 rebounds.
12 rebounds. Oubre had 8. He had 12. Yeah.
And Drummond had 17. So I'm just saying.
I didn't see that. Yeah, Drummond. He got a vacuum on his hands.
Yes. So I'm just saying, like, when you look at all these things, all these composite things going on, and you look at everybody start to get put in a role. Even Eric Gordon, as much as we was ripping him, and how many minutes he was getting, he was carrying the load early on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he made a couple decent plays, defensive plays, and a basket here or two down the stretch. So, I get it. I know what it is everybody's upset because Embiid and Paul George is not playing. So we have like an irritation already and didn't lose them first two games. But that's why we just wait and see what. I still don't like that not playing half the season type stuff. But we're going to see what happens with that when the league dropped the hammer on them. But I agree with you, Ephraim. It does show that this can be a deep team like we thought that it would be when the season started.
Well, yesterday, 10:15, I was up watching the Colorado Buffaloes. They came and did their thing. So I went to sleep very happy. Woke up, saw the Eagles win, very happy. Closing out my evening with the 76ers, and I'm still very, very happy. It was a great sports weekend, especially right here for Philadelphia. and our stars came to play. We was worried about. I know I was concerned about Maxey. The way he was shooting the last 2 games, it was he was shooting 2 for 12 from 3-point land at one point in that game against Toronto. He was shooting 16% overall. But today,
good.
We found out. Okay, that's why he got that $200 million. That's why. This is why we paid him all this money, because he put the team on his back and he carried us all the way to victory. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that you can get fouled. And they look at they don't call a foul, but they can call a foul later on.
I actually like that.
I don't like it. That's irritating. Unless it's on.
Just because it worked against us this time.
When it works against.
Guess what? If we had that in that New York series when they mauled Tyrese Maxey, we might have won that first round.
That's facts. That's facts.
But today, I didn't like it. But what I will say is, this was a very impressive. It was a road when our backs were against the wall. The team, the spirit around the team was kind of, everybody was down. But I'm telling you, we had some good ball. I know Haliburton, he did well besides the fact that he fouled the ball at the end. I thought that was suspect. I do have a problem with
I figure
why didn't they foul?
But why
didn't they foul when they up by 3 with seconds left in the game? Why aren't you fouling them so they can shoot 2-pointers? Like, that's kind of the standard practice right now. Why are you giving that team an opportunity to hit a 3?
You mean before the overtime one?
Yeah, before the overtime. You're giving the team a chance to get. You supposed to put that person.
Well, it almost hurt you in overtime, though, didn't it?
But not really, because it only almost hurt us because we missed the free throws for 1, and then for 2, Caleb fouled. I'm trying to figure out, where were you at?
I think in his mind he was thinking they still was up 3. But I think he just had a brain fart. I think
he's like, I realized he's not.
No. I know he did have a brain fart, right? But I'm just saying, how? They said the bench player, the players on the bench, everybody was yelling, "Don't foul."
He was locked in.
Foul. And then he fouls. I'm like, yo, what in the world is going on? You seen Oubre, when Oubre missed the free throw, that should have triggered something in your mind. All right, let me look to see what's going on, where we at in this game. And then, maybe he thought maybe I'm thinking when he made the second one, he might have thought that put us up by 3 and not 2. So then he fouls, even though everybody's yelling, "Don't foul." He didn't hear the don't. He probably hearing foul. And fouls the ball. Fortunate enough, either ball, Haliburton is trash, and he misses the free throw and allows.
But you gotta give him the props though. He hit that 3-pointer in the time.
Man, that was such a fluke shot that he hit. But he
makes those shots. Makes them shots.
I'm not hating. I'm just trying.
Tyrese Haliburton makes them shots. That was a clutch shot right there.
It was huge. But fortunate enough, down the stretch, he choked up.
He did.
Choked up and missed the free throw, and allowed us to to seal the deal. So that was good.
What you got, Ethan?
The Sixers had their backs against the wall, and they won a game they needed to win. They was free falling. Maxey with a great bounce back game, put the team on his back. Really, to me, be honest with you, Maxey the only one that really played well this game. Some dudes played.
You don't think Gordon played good? You don't think Gordon was 15 points, 5 for 10?
He played okay.
Go ahead. No, I'm just looking at stats. Gordon had 15 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
Are you talking about shooting well or playing 50% well?
From the field. You had
part of playing well.
No. So, yeah, but that's not all in playing. So you telling me Martin with 12 rebounds is not and big defensive stops?
Martin played all right. Oubre played all right. Neither one of them really played well. Oubre took 18 shots for 15 points for 14 points, and Martin took 16 shots for 17 points. He was okay.
I think Martin outplayed his.
Drummond played well. Drummond played well with the boards, defense.
I think Martin outplayed Siakam, who he went up against tonight.
I think Maxey put the team on his back. That's what I think.
No, he did. No, Maxey definitely. I mean, KJ played cool. He had 21 minutes. He was 100% from the field. KJ, he had some decent points. But I do agree with you. I do think Maxey put the team on his back. Something that some people in the chat was saying that he couldn't do. But he put the team on his back, and he was the difference maker. He clearly was. There was no doubt about that.
Huge shots, huge threes he came up with, and we got a lot of loose balls. There was a lot of hustle. I give the Sixers credit. They did do a lot of hustle, though, stacking the ball around.
Oh yeah, that's what you got to get.
You don't think Drummond had a good game too?
He did. He said
killed
Drummond.
him.
He said Drummond. Yeah.
I said Drummond.
Okay. No,
I'm still not sold on Caleb Martin. His three's not falling. It could come. It could come. He's trying to play D. I like that. He's hustling, but we'll see. He reminded me of Toby a little, to be honest with you. He got a lot of lackluster performance. He got a lot of lackluster performance. He's more athletic than Toby. He got a lot of lackluster performances so far, man.
Yeah,
you see some good out of what you see
out of Caleb Martin? You talking about
his last 3 games?
Yeah, I think his defense has been solid. I thought he played pretty good defense on Giannis too with certain things. I mean, I'm looking at him fitting in the piece when you bring in Paul George and you bring in Joel Embiid. You don't have to have him as much going up against those bigger, tougher players as much. I'm just saying.
But he got to hit that 3. He got to hit that 3.
I hear you, but I'm more inclined to see if it's somebody, if their career numbers are saying that they can shoot and that they can. I'm not going to remember that we did the same thing with Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield had a bad stretch. He had a bad couple stretches. And all of a sudden, get rid of Buddy Hield. Get rid of Buddy Hield.
Caleb's career numbers don't say he can shoot the 3 like Buddy Hield. Let's be clear on that.
I ain't saying like Buddy Hield, but I'm saying they shoot better than what he's shooting now.
Yeah, it's definitely better than what he's shooting now.
Career numbers like 34%.
And you've seen him make big plays in the playoffs. So I'm just saying I don't think that him being compared to Tobias is fair.
Yeah, I agree. He's shooting far better than what he's shooting. Historically, he's shot better. He shot better than what he's shooting now. So I'm expecting. I mean, I don't want to jump the gun. Just like we had certain people jumping the gun on Maxey, MOTC. I'm glad that you Maxey proved you wrong. You ate a little crow, but you did have some people. Maxey had 2 games and ready to throw the dirt on Maxey, and he wasn't the dude we thought he was, and so forth and so on. And now look, a dominant 45-point performance, overtime game, we win. So I'm not going to do the same thing to Caleb, and I do agree with Wayne. Sometimes we could get a little impatient with cats. We want to pull the trigger if they ain't producing like we want them to produce or like we've seen them produce before. We get a little antsy.
All right, let me throw this at you. Caleb Martin is a career 35% 3-point shooter.
How many threes a game? What's the average?
2.9.
Oh, he averaged shooting or making 2.9.
He averages shooting 2.9 and making 1 for his career.
Making one. This is
okay. I don't like that. I'm not. See, y'all know I had a whole conversation with Tim last week about a dude who, if your volume is low on threes, your percentage should be higher. It should be higher than 35% if you're only shooting around 3 threes a game. Now, if he was shooting 7 to 8 and you shooting 35%, I'd give you a little bit more of a leeway because you're shooting more. If you're only shooting 3 threes a game, your percentage should be close to 40. If you're considered a shooter, all right. If you consider the knockdown 3-point dude, if you consider that with what they call the stretch 4 or the 3 and D, if you're a 3 and D dude, you need to be shooting at least, and you only shooting 3 threes, you need to be shooting around close to 40%.
He only averaging 1 a game because he's only averaging 1 a game with the Sixers right now, though. It's not even like he out there shooting 3s, 4s.
He's only making 1 a game. He only made 1. He shot 5 tonight.
No, 3-point attempts 1.0. With this first year with the Sixers, before this game, he was only averaging 1 3-pointer attempted a game.
Maybe he needs to keep shooting. Maybe he needs to keep shooting only 1 a game because
he didn't make none, but he was only averaging 1 a game.
Let me ask. So when Paul George come, he's going to be a 3 and D, right?
Well, that's what he goes back to. He goes back to the 35% when Paul George.
They also got him doing a lot of ball handling right
What's
now.
His playoff stats? What's his playoff numbers? Let's get that.
His playoff numbers is good, but we'll
you just go
in the playoffs. For his career in the playoffs, he averages 3.6 attempts and 40%.
That's what I'm talking about. He's a PTP. Then we talking about, do we have a primetime player in our midst?
That's what I said about it. He plays better in the playoffs. He plays well in the playoffs, and he's also giving you rebounds. Though I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but I think that the team is put together to be pieces. The pieces are built to surround our stars. So I mean, and another thing I wanted to say too. Like I know we get a lot of gripe about the Sixers having this old team and veteran team and need more younger players. You know what them old heads did? I think them old heads helped Maxey. Them old heads is the ones that kept telling Maxey, you be that guy. You had the Kyle Lowrys and the Martin. Well, Martin ain't all that old, but you had these other dudes on the team, the veterans from the other. They tell him, Maxey, no, keep on doing it, keep on doing it. Like you,
He
the guy.
got to, because he the only one that could do it. He the only
You're
one
saying
that
that
could do it.
you're saying that, but you could also have if you already got the pressure of having to carry. If you have the pressure of having to carry that, and you got dudes hating on you in the background, or other young boys looking like, it make a difference when the old head. That's why when Embiid was saying to Maxey, you the guy. You know what I'm saying? When you hearing that from the old heads, like when Harden and them was telling them that, it give you confidence.
No, I agree. Confidence boosting is powerful. That's why, and I know I might as well start the season off with it. That's why Steph Curry became who he was supposed to become, because he said he had the backing of whatchamacallit. What's the coach name?
Kerr. Oh, no, you talking about not Rivers?
Come on, what's his name?
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. He had the confidence of Mark Jackson behind him to say, "You're our guy.
Right.
We gonna win on your shoulders." So when you do have that motivation behind you, that people holding you up, it gives you confidence to go out there and ball. And I mean I can agree with that. They definitely nobody looked like they was getting frustrated with his shot selection, with him missing. They just kept giving it back to him.
Yep.
And eventually once that shot started falling, it was over. He started hitting the mid range, hitting the floater. It was a wrap.
And that's my only thing. That's why I picked on Caleb Martin a little bit. Oubre too. He was 0 for 4. Even Ed Gordon was 2 for 7. We shot 26% from 3 tonight. You got it. The league average is what, 34? You got to shoot better. You got to shoot better from that.
How many we shoot?
11.
We shot total 11 threes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what. See,
no, we had to shoot more than that. Maxey himself shot more than 11 threes.
We was. Oh, my bad. We shot 42. We made 11. I'm sorry. We shot 42 and made 11.
Right. But I do think that when you bring in the quality of players of Paul George and Joel Embiid, it opens up where you don't have guys closing out on. Maxey's going to get a lot more open shots than Caleb Martin and all these other dudes is going to get more open shots when you have the guy of a Joel Embiid that brings that gravitational pull, and Paul George, who also handles the rock. Like I said, Caleb Martin did a lot of ball handling. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that he necessarily had to do that as much when you got the right guys in there.
No, I agree with that. I agree with a lot of that.
McCain, how y'all think McCain looked out there tonight? He got his most burn tonight with 17 minutes.
He, like I said, I agree with what you were saying about it. I need to see his shooting, but I still think he actually brings. He's an all around good player though. That's like on one of them plays, it looked like somebody tried to Brody him or something. He caused a turnover. He looked like he's small, but I think they said he he weighed like 185 or something.
Yeah, he's not skinny. He's not a skinny pushover type looking dude.
Yeah, but you bring him in for the shooting. Like I would like to see that shot start falling though. I don't think he hit a 3 yet.
I mean, we was talking about this on our personal, John. If we need shooting and you brought him in as a shooter, you got to give him a little bit more clock to let him get his.
He did. He got 17 minutes tonight.
So, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. That's a step in the right direction. I'm cool with that. I'm not hating on that. And I'm not expecting him to have no, break out and shoot 5-6 threes again. No, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for him to gradually work up. Give me 2 threes, give me 3 threes, and work your way up to being that spot up dude. You can stick in the corner or something like that and knock some threes down. My only thing is if you're just going to be a 3 specialist, what else are you giving us? You know what I mean? Like, what's your defense looking like?
I think that his defense is. That's what I do think that his defense is solid, and he does a lot of. He goes for rebounds. He actually, he gets more rebounds than I thought he, would or whatever, and active on the boards and stuff like that too. But
he was a -17 too. That ain't help.
Yeah, no, it definitely ain't help.
Definitely help. What's up? Shout out to McCoy. Appreciate that, bro. You always show love for the show, man. Thank you. He said, fellas, I believe all of those Iverson cuts the last game wore Maxey out. Let him freelance more with no point guard or PG. Okay, that's right. I forgot he changed the number to 8 with no PG8. Now needs to mix up his pace. No, listen, that that was my thing as well. I don't like him trying to, especially with B and Paul George out of the game. I don't like him trying to be a facilitator and a scorer. I like how they started Lowry, just letting let somebody play point and let Maxey just attack. I like him being on attack and just doing his thing. So I think that's one reason why he was allowed to get out the slump, because when you're in the shooting slump and you're also trying to help people get their shots off, that's a very tall task you ask, and that's a LeBron-like thing. It's very few people in the history of the game that could be effective at doing that. LeBron is one of those few people that could help people score and then get his shot when he wants. So, you got to let Maxey.
I agree too. Let Maxey move more without the ball. I did like they did have Caleb Martin handling the ball more. I did notice that. I did like that. Get Maxey off. Give him time to move. Maybe get around some screens and stuff like that. That him on the ball was hurting him in my
I agree.
opinion.
Yeah, and I also think Maxey's an unselfish. Maxey, it seems like sometimes how sometimes like sometimes you have a dude that's selfish. That's just like they gonna get whenever they touch it, they know they got the green light, they gonna shoot. Maxey seemed like the kind of guy that want to get other people in the game too. So sometimes if the ball is in his hand, it's like point guard. I think he tries to facilitate too much, and it kind of takes his aggressiveness away. Maxey got to be like where you just tell him, listen, you get the ball, you go for your bucket. You go.
I think that's what he's been doing though. Truth be told, I think for the first 2 games, he actually went for his one game. I think he shot like 30. He took 30 shots. So I'll need him to keep this up once the stars get back, once Joel gets back, and once Paul George in there. I still need him to think that way. Just be a little bit more efficient. His efficiency has been terrible the last 2 games outside of this game. But if he continues to be dominant and like, listen, I'm gonna go for mine and I'm gonna carry y'all and let everybody come with him, I think we'll be all right.
I think we're gonna see him hitting a lot more threes with the other 2 back. And I don't like him having to drop. Right now, he gotta force the issue and go to the basket because they know that he's the main guy, and they're crowding him outside and forcing him inside, and he's getting banged around a lot. I'm hoping to see that.
That's why you need them dudes to hit their threes.
You do.
That's why you need the Caleb Martins and dudes to hit their threes. That'll take that pressure off of him.
But
That'll take that defense.
Definitely will.
Joel's presence is going to make it easier on everyone.
I agree.
When is that? When is
That's a good question.
What we not here to do? They said he worked up quite the sweat in practice.
Oh, he got the lather up.
Yeah, so apparently his return may be sooner than we think. So they said he got a nice little run in there.
I want to know if he's really down 20 pounds.
It looked like it.
That's still up for debate.
Now, when I looking at him on the bench, it looked like his face looks slimmed down though.
Not what the coach said.
Oh well,
they just feed him through IVs now.
IOZ earlier said Tyrese shades of younger AI with better size. Darn near brings a tear to his eye.
And the only thing is AI came out from the jump like that. AI was that in college, and AI was that when he first stepped.
But everybody got a different path. We talking about right now what Maxey is looking like.
He looks like.
I still don't think he looked like young. I still don't think he got the swagger that AI. AI always had that swagger. AI was on 1,000 all the time. Maxey looked like sometimes he got to get worked up into that.
I think this year Maxey looks a little different to me. He looks a little bit more intense. It's not the happy bopping with the hair flopping around and all that. He looked a little bit more intense this year, and I think this game showed it to me. So far, not even this game, but the last 3 games, with him just showing like nah, it ain't gonna go down like this. I know I'm struggling, but I'm gonna force my will and get myself out of this slump. And he did. And when he started flexing, I said, "This is what I'm talking about. I like this."
I loved it. Every moment.
I always had that flexing type mindset, even when he was off.
He did, but like I said, everybody got different paths. Sometimes some people come around a little late, some people spark early, some people come around late.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're comparing it to him, I don't think that AI's mindset was different. Maxey still, and it's not to take nothing from Maxey. I still think Maxey's going to be a great player and is an outstanding player. But AI had that different mindset. AI had that killer mindset no matter what, whether he was off or not. He's still like, you want, like,
that's what I'm saying. I've seen that from Maxey this year. That's my point.
You've seen that time from Maxey. AI always had that.
But you said, I'm talking about this year, these 3 games so far is what I'm saying is that's the mindset that he has. Has that mindset clicked for him? Like, you gotta remember, he didn't see it was a little different for AI as well, too, because AI didn't come into a team with a perennial all-star with Joel Embiid. And also who should have been the next LeBron, Ben Simmons. AI didn't come into that. He came into the situation as though we need you to be you. Maxey didn't come in. He kind of came into the situation where it's like, all right, listen, we need you to play a role and we need you to do this and be good, but you ain't here to take over. AI was there to take over. He was number one pick in the draft.
Really, because wasn't Jerry
Stackhouse was here, yes. And AI said, give me that. He said, give me that title, boy. You don't deserve this. That's why they had fights going through that joint.
They were still a relatively young team that wasn't good. We had the number one pick in the draft. So it wasn't like where was Maxey picked that? He wasn't picked to be like the same. AI was picked with the intent. AI was one of the best college basketball players in the country.
I get the point you're making, but my thing is AI's mindset was different from the jump. AI didn't need people to tell him, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you got to do this, you got to do that. AI came in with, you can't stop me. That was his mindset.
I mean, him being a football player kind of helped with that,
mindset. That mindset.
But I do think Maxey's at the point where he actually, I think he's developing that. I think he's at that point where he on that takeover type vibe. And I saw it today. I saw it throughout the year. Even though he was struggling, I still saw an attack. He was in attack mode consistently, and now them shots to start falling. I knew it was a matter of time for this going to start falling.
To me, though, it's still not going to change until I need to see what he was going to look like with playing with other stars. Because it's all right when you're playing against a bunch of young bulls. You feel like you're the biggest fish in the pond. But let me see, when Joel is there, are you going to keep deferring? It's okay to pass to him, but will you continue to defer to him and take that back seat? That's what's important.
I do want to see what Nick Nurse has when all three of them playing together. I do want to see what the offense looks like. But when is that? I don't know.
Once again, Ricky Council got no love from the coach. And I think it's going to be like that all year long.
He played 9. We got to talk about this too before we get off about what y'all think about coaches talking about going deeper into their bag, into their lineup. I know Steve Kerr has been running a 12-man rotation. That's the first time I've ever seen it. Maybe one of the first times in history that he said he's going to continually go with this rotation. Sixers ran 9 tonight. Ran 9. Who you taking minutes from to put? If you want to go deeper into your rotation, I'm not even mad at that because I do think it offers a very clear advantage going that deep into your rotation. So who you pulling back? Some maybe Kyle Lowry, like who you Caleb Martin, like who you?
I guess McCain would be the one that you would pull minutes back from, but that's another young player that you just drafted.
You can't. You got pull minutes back from Kyle Lowry.
Knicks 100 at GM to get you shot.
But why? But you saying pull back from Gordon? But Gordon played the 31 minutes and had 15 points and played solid tonight. So
you still got to develop these young bulls. Gordon is what he is.
You saying develop them, but right now you're a team that's still trying to play, and you want to win this year. So you can't just go into putting all the young boys in to develop them right now.
I mean, truth be told, once Paul George and Embiid is playing,
they got to get burned. My thing is, even with this is my thing about Joel Embiid not playing back to backs. I think Joel Embiid should just play less minutes. He should just play. Listen, instead of playing back to back, give me 20, 25 minutes a game.
I agree.
Let's use them like that.
And if we're that good,
instead of not having to play at all,
and if we're that good, we get a big enough lead where then you could do like that year when Steph Curry had KD and they was blowing teams out so bad that it was like Curry ain't even had to play to like the fourth quarter.
Now, there's a difference between playing in the game and playing 20 minutes. Like if you have a day off where you don't play, your body feels differently than playing.
They don't just sit there and do nothing on that day off. They still go in the gym and they put up a whole bunch of shots and all that other stuff. Don't let Charles Barkley fool you when Barkley talking that stuff. You only play like 40. Them players going there on them off days and put up a whole bunch of shots.
Joel ain't he's not doing no
putting up shots ain't playing though. Putting up shots ain't playing.
That's shooting around.
So going into the gym and putting up shots and putting in work and working on certain sets and floor and all that other stuff. You don't think that could be just as taxing?
No.
They're playing 20 minutes in a game.
Okay. It's not
the same as playing 20 minutes in a game.
It's not. It's completely different. That's what my suggestion is. If you're going to do it, I don't have a problem with the rest and the players and everything. Thinking about it, it's taxing to play every game. Like I'm gonna do 20 and 25 minutes, If you want to take the time off, fine, take the time off.
That was 25 minutes taxing. You get
Still,
two. You only play 3 games, maybe 4 games a week. That's taxing. Come on, are you serious?
Here's what I know.
Listen, stop it, Tim.
Joel is never
20 minutes a game is taxing.
Joel's he's never healthy at the end of the year. A lot of times when key matches that we want to see, he's not available because he's injured. So you're going to tell me we're going to play him less games?
But you kind of arguing against yourself. I see your point, but you kind of arguing against yourself from what you were saying last year because you was mad that Nick Nurse was playing him a lot of minutes. So if you're saying the more minutes matter, then the less minutes obviously matter. So if you're going to say play me 22, 25 minutes a game instead of 36, 38 minutes a game, I do think that's a whole quarter less of basketball. I do think over time that's huge. So to Ethan and Wayne's point, I think playing them less minutes, I think will be an effective thing. I don't. You kind of point it like it ain't really that big of a deal, but I think it is.
Them both. What I'm saying is, I'm saying play them less minutes, but also play them less games.
So on his days off, what do you think that he just sit around and eat Chick-fil-A? Then you be saying how you fatting out of shape because he's not doing that because he's only playing 1 game a week or 2 games a week. That's
exactly what I think he's doing and playing his game. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, if you listen,
there's no way these guys develop the games they develop by just sitting around doing nothing on their days off.
But the risk of all right. Now it is going to have to be some balance because at a certain point you're going to have to throughout the season ramp up his playing time and also ramp up the amount of games he plays consecutively heading into the playoffs because you do want to make sure that you have a certain amount of chemistry. And he also has a certain type of mindset. I remember Wayne was talking about the loser's mindset from Brett Brown, and you going in from Brett Brown to this, trying to build a process and all this, and he still had the loser's mindset because y'all was losing. So are you still going to have this rest mindset going into the playoffs? You know what I mean? Like, and I know that's not what you're saying, but all I'm saying is it does have to be a balance with that as well. As the season progresses, but I'm fine with him playing less minutes and not taking as many games off. I don't think he needs to take that many games off in order to maintain his body. I do think you playing 22 minutes, a whole less quarter of a game throughout the course of 2-3 weeks, throughout the course of a month, has this tremendous impact on his health in a good way. So just take the minutes off. I think that'd be cool. Now, I'm not saying don't miss no game. I'm cool with the back-to-backs. If you don't want to say the back-to-backs, I'm fine. But you can't miss any other games outside the back-to-backs, and you play.
He will, and he already has. And the back-to-backs is 15 games because you got 15 sets of back-to-backs. So that's 15 games already off the schedule that you're talking about missing.
That's 15 or 7 or 8.
No, it's 15 sets of back-to-back
30 games. So it's 30 back-to-backs. It's 30 games total, like back-to-back. You got 15 sets of 2 games.
Yeah, so you're playing in one of them, so he's missing 15 games.
So that's 15 games from the jump. You're saying.
Plus on top of it.
What? So now that take you down to 67 games, and then the 3 that you just missed. So now you're talking about 64 games.
Yeah.
And then any other little knee maintenance or tweak, this, that, and the other. That's why I said eventually you're going to be talking about 50 games.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not even counting the games that they're playing together because if you're putting the other guy on the management too.
Here's the thing: it doesn't. All that being considered, playoffs, everybody starts 0-0, and when you go into the playoffs, you want to make sure that your players are healthy. And right now, that's never been the case with Joel, or rarely been the case with Joel Embiid. So if I'm increasing my odds of him being healthy, starting that game where we all at 0, I'm gonna try this route. This is a different route. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna say
you're saying what I said on the polo. So yes, I
agree with that too. I think only one of us in here is that
mad
that they know.
My only thing is though, again, you have to be okay. How many times have we heard about a team going into the playoffs hot or a team going into the playoffs cold? You got to be careful about how you do this thing. And I know we're a long way off, so I don't want to jump the gun. You're just 3 games in. But at a certain point, you got to be careful on how you play this thing because it still can blow up in your face. I understand the rest, and I'm cool with that because that's what I was saying to you 2 days ago about
I've been consistent with this. I've been very consistent. I don't have a problem with them.
Would you be consistently agreeing with me? Yeah, okay,
no, I've been consistently leading the pack.
About what? Leading the pack about what?
About saying I don't know with Joel sitting out.
Man, you was girl. Man, please.
Thank you.
Stop.
Thank
I
you.
was the one sitting here saying like I'm fine with it.
No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't.
When was I not? I was the one saying about not panicking because the same point Ephraim just made about the hot team going in. That's the argument I was making about being that hot team. And I also brought up the point that I think before January, there's 5 sets of back-to-back, and I think it's like 7 sets of back-to-back in January. January is like the deepest month where it's back-to-backs. So if it's 12 by the end of January, that means it's only going to be like 3 more times that you play back-to-back. Down the stretch, you're not going to have as many back-to-back games. And that's when you get that continuity going down the stretch.
Okay. All right. So I agree. Real quick, our team that we're going to be probably locked horns with throughout the season in seeding is the New York Knickerbockers. We got a fan on here now, so I did want to give a shout out to you, Knicks 100 GM. He said, don't you have to play a minimum of 65 games to receive awards? Joel said he's not worried about no awards this year. He said he got his MVP. He's worried about winning. He's worried about being.
Yeah, he already hurt himself to get his MVP and scoring title. He did all that.
Yeah. So Pacers have just lost 2 back-to-back games, one to us and one to the Knicks. The Knicks actually routed the Pacers 123-98. What y'all still think about the Knicks? So
the Knicks routed one team and got routed by the other, huh? So I guess we gotta wait to see their next game and see somewhere in the middle where they fall.
They play tonight.
I think it's just the beginning.
They play tomorrow.
Cleveland tomorrow, right?
They play Cleveland tomorrow.
I remember we said this last year. I think it's just the beginning of the season. Remember last year we said we're gonna give 10 games in to see where everybody stand. I give it that 10 to 15, see where things start shaking out. But the problem with the Sixers is you don't want to be fighting from the bottom.
I agree.
If Joel and PG miss too many games, you don't want to have to fight back to get in a good position. That's the only problem. Hopefully the Sixers don't face.
But I kind of feel like how the point you said that the Sixers probably feel. Whereas though, if our team is fully healthy going into it, I think they feel like they could beat anybody.
That's cocky, though. I don't like that thinking.
I hear what you're saying, but if we talk about how deep the East is and everything else, so that means pretty much everybody that's in that playoffs could be a tough matchup. So if you focusing on just making sure that you healthy and going in, now I ain't saying that that's necessarily going to work. I'm just saying I'm just talking about what their reasoning.
That's disrespectful to the game, though. That's disrespectful to the game to think you could miss all these games, and as long as we healthy, I don't care where we seed, we got a shot to win the finals. That's
exactly. Kawhi Leonard did the same thing. He played 60 games for the Toronto Raptors.
60's a lot. 60's a lot. That's good.
That's what we're saying.
That's what they looking at B playing.
B not playing 60. B playing 50 or less.
No, he needs to play 60. He needs to play 60. 60 is fair.
60 is fair. Around 60, 65 games, I think is fair. I could rock with that. He already about what was the math, Wayne? Where he at 62?
Because if you take 15 off of it, that take you to 67.
And then the 3
missed. And then the 3 that he already missed. And then the 3 he already
missed. 18. So what'd that get you?
Okay.
He had 64.
That's 64.
Yeah.
So he got
and he got 4 vacations. He got 4 personal days.
I think he go run into.
He looking at great so far.
He gonna run into a write up before this thing. He gonna go over them for. He gonna go over them for the 4 personal days. This is the Knicks look like the Knicks the other day when they played against. This is actually pretty nice. How they broke this thing down. Hart had 20. OG had 14. Cat had 21. Mikal had 21. Brunson had 25. Payne off the bench with 7, and McBride had 8. I mean, that's a pretty nice, very balanced scoring attack that they got. They not Knicks. We got our hands full with the Knicks, bro.
We might, but that was against Indiana, and I'm not the way Indiana played against us. I'm not, and I was on board like when we was talking about who the top 4 teams. I was giving Indiana props.
You was,
but I'm looking at Indiana how they play so far this year. I'm not.
We tried to tell you.
I gotta see. I'm like, I gotta see. I'm not judging them on this short window, but I'm like, I gotta see.
You tried to warn you. You wouldn't listen.
I'm still not saying they trash or nothing, but they should have handled this.
I think Indiana top 5 team.
Top 5 team actually from the bottom.
I think we all agree.
You got Orlando.
I think we're in agreement. Our top 2 nemesis are Boston and the Knicks. That's why I'm keeping a close eye. I'm not even Boston will pull away from everybody. Nobody catching
Milwaukee. Milwaukee.
Until Doc does something of significance, I'm not overly worried about Milwaukee. I do like Dame and Giannis combination them with a second year under their belt. Yeah, they could be there. I still take the Knicks over Milwaukee in my opinion. I'm taking Knicks. I'm taking Boston Knicks, then either the Sixers, Milwaukee in that.
And you got Bobby Portis and Middleton coming back.
I'm taking the Knicks over us. And the only reason why I would give Milwaukee a slight advantage over us is because of games played by our two superstars.
You putting the Knicks over the Sixers?
I'm putting the Knicks over the Sixers because we're not going to have beat in Whatchamacallit enough to see higher than the Knicks.
Oh, you talking about just the seeding or if they're facing each other?
In the seeding, yes. In the seeding.
Okay.
This the seeding right now. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for seeding right now? Celtics 3-0, Cleveland 3-0, the Hawks 2-0, the Magic 2-1, and the Heat 2-1. That's the top 14.
By 10 games in, that seeding gonna flip.
Yeah, it don't matter right now. The first three, you need 10 games to really get an idea. Actually, need 25.
10 to 20, yeah, 10 to 20 games in, that seeding gonna start. I don't see Atlanta holding fast to that. Who you say was out there? Who else?
Didn't DeJounte
Celtics, Cleveland, the Hawks.
DeJounte don't play. He plays for the New Orleans now. The Pelicans.
Yeah, that's right.
Celtics, Cleveland, and the Hawks.
Well,
Cleveland ain't shooting.
We gonna see. Cleveland gonna play the Knicks tomorrow. The Knicks out here. All right, New York fans. Oh, the king of the jungle. Y'all going in and play Cleveland. We gonna see.
I got the ticket. I got the ticket for games like that.
Put this smack down on Cleveland, and then we holler. That's all.
Now, tomorrow's gonna be a good game because Milwaukee play the Boston Celtics tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be some good hoops tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be. That's why I got the ticket. I got the ticket for that reason. So I'm tuning in. I'll let y'all know what happens. You're going to stay for the night.
It's free right now. Don't they give it to you free for the first week of the season?
I don't know.
League Pass?
They charge me every year automatically. So
I hate that bill. I'm like, what is this?
I know. So I just eat it at this point because I'm watching Golden State anyway. So
let's keep it a bean though. Listen, the East may be a crapshoot for the most part, but Boston is top dog in the East. Boston's sitting up there and resting and throwing out their secondary team to play against some of these teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? Boston right now is top dog.
I'm just waiting for one of them to blow out their Achilles.
What you say?
I'm waiting for one of them to blow out their Achilles.
See, don't do that. Now you go wish that evil on Maxey or Paul George or something. No, we're not doing that.
The Zingers do that anyway, and then they all still win. So,
What you say? What you say, Wayne?
Oh, I said Porzingis going to blow head. Porzingis get hurt anyway, and they still win.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
Now, real quick because I'm about to hop off, I got to spend some family time.
That is good.
Kerr's running the 12-man lineup. What y'all think about this 12-man lineup he run? Do y'all think that's sustainable? Do y'all think that's fool's gold, or what y'all think about that?
I think nobody in here really cares about Golden State.
Okay. I like the second that bullshit.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
No, but real talk though. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see though. All I know is if Curry take this roster and he get back to another finals with this roster, I think it's anybody that's even started throwing shade at him. Because some people still don't want to give him props. After that last chip, to me, I'll put him over Magic. Personally.
Before we go, because I got to get out here too. Special shout out to LeBron, what he did the other night at 39. We had 16.
Oh, okay. I can't talk about Curry, but you want to come in and talk about LeBron. Okay.
LeBron didn't do his thing though.
A special shout out to a man who's a treasure in all sports, Jameis Winston. Shout out to my man.
Yeah, got to give a shout out. Winston with the phenomenal comeback
with the Cleveland Browns against Baltimore.
Yeah,
300.
Get that W.
No turnovers. Shout out to Jameis Winston, man. You gotta love Jameis Winston.
You got to
love Jameis Winston,
man. Man of God, man of faith, and I like. I'm sorry, Tim, but I like how Cleveland don't deserve Jameis Winston. Let me say that first. The way they did when Deshaun Watson got hurt and they started cheating. I mean, chanting, "Yo, you deserve it." They don't deserve Jameis Winston
at all.
Team. But he did his thing. He represented. I was proud for him as a player and as a man. I was glad to see how he played.
Especially after he told them Fugazi fans off for cheering.
Yeah, that's the only thing is they live in Cleveland, so they deserve what they get because it's Cleveland. But I'm glad.
I mean, you can say that, but Cleveland they did do Cleveland dirty in the NFL though. They snatched their team from them.
Good. They don't deserve.
They snatched their team from them, sent them to Baltimore, and then they went to Baltimore and won a couple titles.
They did. Real quick,
whole franchise.
To my point, this 12-man lineup, I think, may be something. The way Curry changed the game, Kerr and his coaching staff may be on to something with this. And let me explain to y'all real quick. I know you got people in the comment section hating, saying Golden State roster trash and all this, that, and the third. They're 12. The first 2 games they won by a total of over 70 points. They won their first 2 games by. The first one was 30, like 34, 35. Second game was 41 points they won by. So they are rolling right now. And I think the impact of having fresh legs on the court all the time is wearing teams down.
They're not the first ones to do that, though.
It's consistently. Who did that before?
Boston used to do it when they had all them Kentucky Wildcat players and Rick Pitino coaching.
They ran a 12-man roster. I don't know nobody.
It was something like that. They used to get mopped though, but they used to stay running that. They was.
I don't know if they. I check the stats. I don't know. I haven't heard nobody talk about Boston running a consistent 12-man rotation.
It didn't work. It didn't work when they was running all everybody's out there.
I mean, we'll see. So far, we're looking for Golden State. I think you having fresh legs on the court at all times and able to have fresh defenders non-stop running at people, hustling, loose balls, all that kind of stuff, running fast breaks. I'm telling you, that has so far been very impactful. We'll see where it goes, but Golden State got a pretty deep team with our old bull Buddy Hill, him and Curry shooting lights out. It's going to be a scary thing. That team could surprise some cats.
Yeah, we seen Buddy Hill start out like that somewhere else.
Okay, we'll see. They play tonight. I'll be back on our text thread to update y'all on what happens.
All right, y'all. So like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We're going to catch you on the next podcast. We out.
Deuces.
Peace.